Hello everyone, welcome back to the Black Nationalist channel. I'm coming back at you with another timely video. And this video that I want to discuss is the one about Kevin Hart. What he had a show, his Egypt show was canceled after reportedly it was said that he made it Afrocentric about the country's history. Now, Egypt has been conquered by multiple people. It was conquered by Babylon. And of course, Babylon was conquered by Assyria, which they overtook Egypt. And then you had the Medo-Persians. And then you had Greece. And then you had Rome. And then, of course, you had America. And right now, we're living under the United Nations. So, right now, Egypt is preoccupied by those Persians, those white Egyptians, those Arabics, you could say. Those white Arabics. That is what Egypt is being occupied by them. Not because the real Egyptians, which we do know they are black. Ancient Egyptians were black. There's this book that I have. It's called Genesis. And it speaks upon how the ancient Egyptian kings, the pharaohs, how they were black and commit the land of the Negro. It speaks upon how black people ruled Egypt. So if you are a Tyreek, you enjoy his work, his Hidden Colors work, and it speaks upon the ancient Egyptian history. He goes into details about it, which I'm not about to go into details about it right now. But if you were to get his FBA stream, and you can be able to watch all of his Hidden Colors 1 through 5. And for each one, they do go into details about the black ancient Egyptians. So with this here, you have this Middle Eastern focused news site, Al Monitor, who was in opposition to Kevin Hart's performance in Egypt, which they claim to say, because it is unclear, but they are claiming to say that Kevin Hart said that we must teach our children a true history of black Africans when they were kings in Egypt and not just an era of slavery that is cemented by education in America. And they also claim to say that he said, "Do you remember the time when we were kings?" This is what they are saying. Now, the Middle East Eye noted in December that the discourse on social media in Egypt was growing surrounding the quotes, which calls for Hart's show in the country to be canceled. Most martyred Egyptians, like many people in the Middle East and North Africa, identify ethnically as Arab. And many Egyptians see attempts to censor Egyptian history on black Africans as Afrocentric and blackwashing their history. Now, you cannot say that Kevin Hart is trying to blackwash Egypt history when ancient Egyptians were black. You can't, the writings are on the wall. They literally have the writings on the wall, the complexions of their people on the wall as being black and being brown. If they wanted you to be light skinned, they know how to color that person as being light skinned. They have done it plenty of times. When it came to certain invaders that they had beaten, they painted them as being light skinned or white. They have done this. So for these Arabics to sit up and to go after Kevin Hart because he is actually trying to do a show in Egypt, pay homage to Egypt, they don't like the fact that he is saying that it is too Afrocentric. Now, here is the thing. Like I said, this Al Monitor, this Middle Eastern focused news site, They are saying that the quotes are unclear. So they're making a big fuss over something that the quotes of Kevin Hart are unclear. And so that causes the people in Egypt to want to go and to pounce on Kevin Hart. See, this is why black people, we have to know our history. If you do not know your history, these people who are your enemies will rewrite it for you. That's why you have individuals like DeSantis that don't want to teach African studies in schools because they don't want our children to know that we were more than just slaves. We was inventors, and yes, we were kings, and yes, we were queens. Now, was all of us from Egypt? Absolutely not. All of us was not from Egypt. There are plenty of us that came from different parts of Africa. It's a mighty large continent, and they also had different class of royalty as well. All of Africa was beautiful before the white man came over and to destroy, depriving the Africans of their resources and burning down their villages and their cities. Because Africa, they did have cities all throughout Africa, but white people, due to white supremacy, they all had their hatred for black people, and they came over and they destroyed it. Like I said, you have to watch Hidden Colors, all done by Tariq Nasheed, and he goes into details about this situation. Now, I know Kevin Hart, he may sometimes say some stuff that can be crazy. However, this is not the time that we allow for other people to jump upon our people. He's still one of our brothers at the end of the day. This is not the time to allow other groups who have a disdain towards black people, because see, Arabics, they hate black people. Arabics hate black people to the core. As a matter of fact, they are practicing slavery over there in their country to this day. There are videos of them. There is one video that I have seen. They had this young lady, I think she's Sudanese, and they had her hanging upside down on a hook while that Arab man was beating on her. And you hear her crying and screaming out in agony. They are killing our people over there in their parts of the world. They are literally killing them in their parts of the world. So for these people to sit up and to want to go after Kevin Hart because he wants to make a show in Egypt about Egyptians, ancient Egyptians, that's crazy. It just goes to show you how the hatefulness that they have for us. We are on our own, black people. When are you going to grasp that? This is more than just Kevin Hart's show. They don't want us to speak upon our history. They want us to only dwell upon us as being slaves and nothing more. They only want us to be like, oh, we were slaves. We were always poor. We was always weak. We was always getting our behind kicked. We don't have anything else going for ourselves, which is not true at all. We are inventors. That's why every single day on my Twitter page at Francis Quest W, that I always post every single day inventions from our people. Inventions from pre-Civil War all the way to after the Civil War up into modern day times. I have always made sure that I post those inventions so that people can see when they come to my page, it is very black, and then they can have something to share with others. We are living under a system of white supremacy, and we have to make sure that we get the work of our people out here, and that we let people know that we are not going to forget our past. Here is what our people have contributed to society that you guys use every single day. Every single day that you guys use, we're the ones who have created it. Let me just give you one example. Thomas Jennings, 1791, he was born and died in 1856, was the first black man to receive a patent. The patent was rewarded on March 3rd, 1821, U.S. Patent 3306X, for his discovery, a process called dry scouring, which is the forerunner of today's modern day cleaning. Because of him, we have dry cleaning. Because of him. And also, since he was a free man, he was able to purchase this patent. Not a day goes by when I am making sure that I don't post something that is going to liberate our people, that shows that we are more than just slaves. We are not just slaves. We are thinkers. We are innovators. We are creators. We are the ones that gave America her culture. It was us, foundational black Americans. It was us who gave America her culture. Nobody else. Even though we went through so much in the American Maroon video, the latest video from documentary from Tariq Nasheed, it goes into details talking about the Maroons, talking about how they have fought every step of the way against white supremacists. Every single step of the way they have fought, and how we are the Maroons and how we continue to fight. We don't give up and just lie down and allow people to just run over us like every other group does. No, we're constantly fighting against this white supremacy. And that's the reason why people cannot understand us. And they look at us as being weird because we're always fighting back. Well, we have to fight back. If we don't fight back, then guess what? We will be ran over. They are going to try to exterminate us. They're already trying to exterminate us now with all these jabs and all of this, the food that we got in our community. Remember, they put a lot of these grocery stores that has a lot of GMO written foods in the black community. They don't put a lot of GMO foods grocery stores in the white community. They always put it in our community. If they can't get us by putting us in a box, which is called a ghetto, which is caused by redlining, they are going to make sure that they kill us by the food. They're going to kill us by the air. I mean, these people really want us dead. White people want us dead. That is exactly what white people want. So therefore, we have to continue to put up a fight against these people. We are dealing with demons who are walking on the face of this earth. That's what we are dealing with. And so going back to what Kevin Hart, what he is going through, it's just another form of white supremacy. They just over here trying to shut him up so that he won't speak upon ancient Egyptians. And we all know that ancient Egyptians were black. It was the land of the Negro called Kemet. We all know that. If you actually pick up your history book and you would actually go back and you would look and you would see it. There are some that, like I said, a lot of their drawings, they show you the color of the Egyptians. They show you that they was black and that they was dark brown. They show you that. They knew how to paint a person white and they know how to paint a person who was light skinned. They knew how to do that. They knew. So for these people to want to go and say, oh, you making it Afrocentric? No, you're just upset because you don't have a culture. Your culture involves pedophilia and killing. You're no different than the Anglo-Saxons. You're no different than them. You are absolutely no different than them. Your nose is just different. And you have a little bit of pigment on you. That's about it. You're not full Anglo-Saxon. You almost like them, but you're not. This is the problem that we have to face every single day as black people. It doesn't matter. No matter what we do, there's always going to be some group of people that is going to complain about what we are doing. And we have to take a stand and say, no, I don't care what you think. I don't care how you feel about me. I'm going to do what's best for me and what's best for my community. That's all that I have for you today. And I'll come back with you another video tomorrow.